Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sanket. In this video, we are going to talk about how we can configure different model in our agent script. So you all know that by default, all the agent in our Salesforce org have a default model, and that model you can control from Einstein audit analytics and monitoring setup option. Setup and search for Einstein, and you will see this option over here. And over here, if you see, you get an option, select the model option for Agentforce. So here you can choose between like which model you want to go for. Basically, you want to go for Salesforce default model, or you want to go for a model hosted on AWS, or you want to go for Google Gemini. So, but what if you want to have more control? Let's say you have 5 different agent, and each of those agent you want, let's say you have a deep thinking agent, an agent which needs higher level of reasoning, and then you have like some simple kind of agent. Let's say just it does query and summarize. You don't need a very uh, high quality model for that. So to address that kind of stuff in AgentScript, we have this option called configure models in AgentScript. This is a new feature where you can define a specific model of your choice on whole model, like whole AgentScript level, or let's say you have 3 or 4 sub agents within control a default model for per agent, and then you can control which sub agent will have what kind of model. It's up to you. Basically, now you have 3 options to choose. So one is like org default. You can select an org default, and then you can choose a model per agent, and at the same time you can also choose a model per sub agent, right? So you can have a variation of these 3 options. So let us see this in action. So I have an agent over here. This is very simple agent. It just do the query and gives you the result. So right now I have used, let me just comment it out. So by default, let's say, let me create a new version first. I think it is already active. I created a new version of this agent, and let me comment it out. Take all this. Yeah. So I just saved it. So right now, if you see this, there is no model override over here. So this is running based on the model selection of the org. This agent will not override anything which is in their org. So org is right now Salesforce default. So it will basically 4.1 if I'm not wrong. So GPT 4.1. Let me just say something, right? Fetch all my account, and then fetch its related contacts. And I'm just giving this prompt. So this agent will do the reasoning based on the default model of the org. Now let me do one thing. Here I will override the model. What I'm saying is, in the model config option, I'm saying model I want to use is Anthropic Claude 4.5 Haiku. From where I'm getting all these model options, you can get all these model options from here. So there is a link which gives you all the option of supported models. So these are the options. You can see the nodes, which model are behind the Salesforce trust boundary and which one are not. So right now I'm testing with Claude 4.5 Haiku. So this is the API name you have to use. And in the model, I'm just written model colon and then double slash and the model name. So now I'm going to hit the save button again. If you observe this, basically, if you see over here, so you can see the default model over here. Let me switch to canvas. If you want to just like change the model from here, also you can do that. And then you have hyper classifier. I will talk about this in another video where you can use hyper classifier. But in this video, so right now I'm going to test with Haiku 4.5. So let me just copy the same prompt here. So based on the model, you will see the quality of the response automatically. A couple of things to be noted. So not only the quality, but also the latency, speed, and various other parameters. Like depends on how model is powerful, how best the model is. It depends. So the same prompt with a different model, which is now doing the reasoning, right? So you see, it is definitely like much better than the past one. Let me now use 4.8, Opus 4.8, which is one of the powerful model at the moment. So I'm going to default model, and I'm going to select Opus 4.8 and going to save it. Let me just do preview again, reset the simulator, and run the same prompt. So I'm going to say fetch all my account and its related contact. So let us see what it does. Because Opus 4.8 is known for its thinking capabilities, it is taking a little bit more time. I will show you that also, how the variation works. So let me meanwhile open the trace, and let me just copy the prompt also. It is taking some time because it does think a little bit more. So if you see, right, it took 31 seconds here to complete all the actions. You see it given me much better result, right, than the past one. Let me quickly now switch to some other model. Let's say I'm going to switch now to GPT 5.4 and save. And let me preview. It will be faster because GPT-4 would not be like that powerful as 4.8. So let's see. I hit this prompt and it was faster. Like it finished in 6.17 seconds. So you can choose what you want. You want latency, you want quality. It also depends on what you are trying to achieve from the agent. So right now what I shown you is on the agent level. Now let's do it on the sub agent level, right? So let me so for the sub agent level, what we have to do is we can add the same piece of code into sub agent level. So let me do one thing over here. Let me switch back to script, and in the script here, before reasoning, I'm going to put model config and going to hit save. So now what we did is my agent having defaulted to GPT 5.4, but this particular sub agent is now using Claude 4.5 Sonnet. Maybe what I can do is let me add one more sub agent over here. Let me add it from the asset, let me, yeah, I think adding from sub asset would make more, from the asset would make more sense. Just say case management. Add to case, yeah. So what I'm going to showcase over here is I have two different sub agent. So on the agent level, I have GPT 5.4, whereas one of my sub agent is using Claude 4.5 Sonnet, and the other one do not have any model, so it will be using the agent one, this one 5.4, because I have not overridden for that particular sub agent. So let's just do the review. The preview again. I'm going to hit the prompt. Let's say I want to fetch my cases. So I'm hoping, because I have not added any instruction after adding the sub agent, but I'm hoping just it should work. Yeah, so it did work, but yeah, it did went into query planner. So this time, this response is not coming from the agent model. It is coming from the sub agent model. Right now, let me do one thing. Let me just go back and switch back to 4.8 Opus on the sub agent level. So I'm expecting it should take more time. It should take more time. So I'm going to now preview one more time, and let me just copy the prompt. Okay, reset simulator, review error. What was the error? Okay, let me just refresh one time. Okay, there are some problems. Citation URL line number 376. Oh, this subagent has some problem. Let me just delete that. Okay, I'm going to preview it now. And because I have overridden on the subagent level, it should take more time, because the, yeah, honor name, or I'm saying all cases. So let us see. Obviously, it is taking more time. If it is like GPT 5.4 or 4.1, it would have done very quickly. But since it was 4.8, it does think a lot and takes time to provide the output. So this is how you can control the model override for agent, right? This is going to be very helpful. There would be some scenarios where you need more reasoning power. But one thing to remember, all these models are still having, if there is a catch. So basically what I'm trying to tell you is all these models are currently limited to context size of 65,000 tokens, because by default you will be having data masking enabled in the Einstein Trace layer. I don't think you want to disable it. So until unless you do not disable that, you have 65k token limit. So even though you change the model, it is not going to impact your context size. So this thing you can keep in mind. If you want to really test and evaluate different model, you can go through these different links which talks about LLM performance on certain benchmark. This is very interesting. You can have a read. Thank you for watching this video.